Welcome friends, welcome back to the kitchen. It is mid-November, and if you live kind of where we do here in North America, between mid-October and early January, schedule's jam-packed with family and friend gatherings. Lots of big dinners, and I know that a lot of people get stressed about cooking those big dinners because there's a lot of moving parts and there's a lot of sort of intricate things that need to be done at certain times, and it can be stressful. Today we're going to do potatoes, mashed potatoes, in a slow cooker or a crock pot. And it's kind of low-hanging fruit because mashed potatoes on their own, not a difficult thing to make. Not a difficult thing to make at all. You put some potatoes in some salted water, bring them up to a boil, you boil them until they're fork tender, drain them, mash them, flavor them. Really simple, but sometimes when you're cooking a big meal, you don't have a burner on your stove to do it, and it's just one more moving part to do close to that time when it gets really busy and you're just about to bring stuff to the table. So why not use your slow cooker? Over the course of 6 or 7 hours on low, the potatoes can be steaming away, but an hour before you're ready to take everything to the table, you can then mash them, flavor them, put it onto low, or a lot of them have a serving setting, put it onto serving, and it takes just one level of stress out of your day. So in this pot, or in this crock pot, I have put a kind of mixture of yellow and red potatoes. Exact variety, I don't know. I would call these waxy potatoes. I had my wrist slapped once on set. I was filming a potato commercial and I don't remember who it was for, but it was probably for a marketing board. And someone from the Potato Growers Association slapped my wrists and said, "It's not a waxy potato, it's a wet potato." And I said, okay, so then that one over there, that's a dry potato? And they said, no, that's not a dry potato, that's a floury potato. Those types of interactions on set made me question my chosen career path in advertising. Anyway, so I'm using waxy potatoes. They were on sale. They were the cheapest that I could buy. I'm going to use them in the crock pot. To that, I'm adding steaming liquid, which today is chicken stock or chicken broth. To that, I'm going to put in some ground black pepper and some salt. I've got a diced onion. Now, if I was cooking roast beef, I'd use beef stock. If using cooking turkey or chicken, use chicken stock. You could use vegetable stock, and if you don't have access to stock, just use water. It'll be fine. Water will be just fine. I'm also going to throw in some butter, and I've got some garlic here that I'm just going to crush up into the crock. If you like garlic, put in more. You don't like garlic, leave it out. Now, if I was having this with roast beef, there'd be a giant scoop of horseradish going in here because horseradish in mashed potatoes is incredible. Give that a stir. You're not really going to stir it up that much, just a little bit. Lid on, and you're looking at 4 to 5 hours. 4 hours is safe on high. You could go 5. You're looking at 6 to 7 hours on low. So I will see you back here in 4 hours. There you go. At the start, you think they're never going to cook. And then they do. And they smell wonderful. I mean, it's simply just a humble potato. But there's something about potatoes that I absolutely love. So these are perfect now for mashing. Mash them any way you like. I like to leave chunks. If it's just Julie and I, we'll leave chunks inside. Other people like them whipped, so you could grab like a hand blender or a mixer and go through it with that and really whip up your potatoes. And at this point, it's just now, how much dairy do you want to add? We've already added the butter, right? But sour cream and cream or milk would be great at this point. Cream cheese is great at this point. Other flavorings that you want to put in would be fantastic at this point. Cheese, grated cheese. What kind of grated cheese would you like to put in? I mean, there's so many options. Really what I was trying to get across in this video was use your slow cooker to take some heat off of you in the kitchen on that big day when you're cooking a million other things. This is just an easy way to cook the potatoes, not take up stove space, and you can have one of the kids mash them at the end. So that's about as mashed as I mash. Pour in a little bit of cream, a scoop of sour cream. Now, my slow cooker has a setting called buffet. I'm sure that most do at this point. If you've got one that was made in like the last 20 years, probably. It probably has something, keep warm, serving, buffet, something like that. That'll keep it at a safe temperature, which is very important. You don't want it to get into that danger zone. This is a breeding zone for terrible bacteria if you don't keep it at the right temp. But at this point, this will stay good for serving for probably another hour and a half or 2 hours. Keep the lid on and you are ready for serving. Hey, Jules.
Hey, Glenn. Hey, friends. Oh my goodness, so much is going. It's cake? Biscuits!
Cake, biscuits on a stew, but we're not going to do that.
I love that.
We're going to do crock pot mashed potatoes first.
Okay, you know what? I love the idea of crock pot mashed potatoes, but I gotta tell you, biscuits on stew is a favorite, and cake.
Yes.
These better be impressive.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out. I mean, it really is just, I'm thinking of a way to take stress away on that big cooking day that's coming up. Well, there's a few big cooking days coming up. You can put them in the crock pot, forget about them. Yeah, it's a mashed potato. I like mashed potatoes.
I do like mashed potatoes.
I like mashed.
Okay, so not disappointing in any way,
No.
even though there's cake and biscuits.
Yeah.
Clearly cooked on a stew, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of dark in color. What's that all about?
So I cooked them in chicken stock.
Okay.
If you cook them in water, they wouldn't be quite as dark.
Yeah,
I
that
cooked
makes
them with the
sense.
skins on and the long slow cook in the slow cooker with all of those things combined.
Give it
Leads to a little bit of a darker color. So if you want those bright white mashed potatoes, use a fluffy potato, like a russet maybe. Peel them, use water or a vegetable stock. But if you don't care what the color is and you just want amazing flavor,
That apparently you tell me is easy to make?
wow.
I mean, mashed potatoes aren't exactly.
No, mashed potatoes
Difficult
aren't
to
rocket
make.
science. But this kind of takes away from having to do it on the stovetop, juggle multiple pots. You're not doing it right at the very
There
end.
isn't always space. Yeah.
All those things.
That's often the biggest thing when you're trying to cook a big meal, right? It's like,
Yep.
this is still in the oven, but I want to put the pies in. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, definite. Not really a time saver, but a stress saver on the big day. Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon.